everybody. My name is Alex, and today I'll speak to you about English language. Many of you guys know English pretty well. I mean, maybe not to the point when you can communicate with anybody, anyone in the world, but at least you can express yourself. You can tell anybody what you want, and you can understand maybe 90% of whatever people are telling you. But now, I want to tell you something about phrases that American people use in their conversation, right? And for example, I'll explain you what I mean. For example, you want to suggest someone to try the new food, and he've never tried it before, right? But you've already done it. And what are you going to tell him to try the new food? Okay, there's so many ways to do that. You can say, man, you know what? This is a great food. You should try it. I have already done it. So you should do the same. Or you can say, you know what? This food is so yummy. It's so delicious. I mean, it's spicy. It's just tasty as hell, right? That's what American would say. Or he can say, oh my god, you've never tried it before? You should try. Man, this is one of a kind. This food is extremely delicious. Oh my god, I'm drooling now. I'm drooling. Drooling means, значит, что у меня там слюни текут, да? Okay, so now there are so many other phrases that you want to know. For example, there is a topic, right, that you want to discuss. You can discuss it using 2 or 3 sentences, but then you can discuss it using bunch of collocations, bunch of very interesting phrases. For example, you want to surprise someone with a big news, right? For example, somebody just won a lottery, right? And you want to surprise him that he won a lottery. How are you going to do that? You can come up to him and tell him, man, you know what? I've got some good news for you. You just won a lottery. Or you can say, you know what? I've got something for you. You would never believe it. And he would say, what is it? And you say, oh my God, you just won a lottery. Or you can say, man, you know what? I think you won $1 million. You owe me half of it. I mean, you can do it any way you want, any way you like. If you want to, if you see somebody who just returned from a long trip, it was a really interesting trip. For example, somebody just went to Africa, right? Or he visited Thailand or any other country. And you met him, I mean, he just came, he knocked to your door, you open the door, he's there. What do you tell him when you meet him and he just returned from there? It seems easy, you know, sounds very easy. But in reality, when you see people who just came back from some very long trip, sometimes people get puzzled. You know, sometimes people don't know what to say. You can say, oh my God, you just returned from this trip. Man, tell me how was it? Tell me how was your trip? Tell me the details. I want to know everything because I'm going to travel too. And I always wanted to travel to this destination, right? So, or you can tell him, I know you've been traveling, right, a while, and I know that you just visited this beautiful country. Can you tell me something about it? How was the climate? How was the food? How are people there? You know, how did they treat you there? There's so many questions you want to ask him. And actually, that's what I'm going to teach you. How to communicate. What kind of questions are proper questions you ask people? What kind of questions you don't want to ask people? Because some of them can be private. Some of them can be pretty embarrassing for the people who you ask them, you know. Now, for example, let me tell you some other one. For example, what do you say when you hear sad news from someone? Someone tells you, you know what, my granddad just died. What do you tell him? Again, sounds pretty simple. But when the situation comes up, what are you going to say? Usually Americans say, my condolences, you know, or they can say, I'm sympathizing with you. Or you can say, I feel for you. Or you can say, you know, I'm so sorry to hear that. When something bad happens, in America people say, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it sounds so sad, you know, just if I can help you, you know, just tell me whatever you need. I will do it for you. I will help you in any way I can. So then you just offer your help. Now, what do you say when someone is joking with you, or you think someone is joking with you? It can be a good joke, but it can be a bad one, and you don't like the way he jokes. You don't like the way he talks to you. You see, uh, if you don't like what he's saying, right, and maybe he didn't mean anything bad, right, but you feel a little bit offended, maybe it insults you in some way. So you can tell him, you know what, let's drop the subject. I don't want to talk about it anymore, right? Or you can say, I just don't want you to tell me something like that. I don't want you to keep talking about it. Let's just stop it. Let's just move to some other, subject. Let's just talk about something else. I don't like the thing that you start to discuss. That's it. You can use so many ways to ask him to stop talking or to stop doing such jokes, making such jokes. Now, what do you say if you first meet someone? Sounds very easy. You first meet the person, what do you usually say? Usually you say, nice to meet you, right? Or you say, oh man, you know what, I heard a lot about you, and finally, I met you, so nice to meet you, man. And then you introduce yourself. I'm so pleased to meet you. It's so nice to meet you. Now, what do you say when you interrupt someone or you cut in front of him? Basically, for example, you want to ask someone, and this someone, this guy, is in some crowd, right? That he's just talking to people about something very important, but you need to interrupt him. You need to interrupt the whole conversation. What do you usually say? You say, excuse me, guys, can I just take this guy for a minute? Can I talk to him for a second, you can say. Can I talk to him for a sec? Or, sorry for interrupting, guys, you know what, I just need a minute with this guy. Or you can say, I'm so sorry, guys, you know what, I didn't mean to disturb you, I didn't mean to bother you, but can I just have 1 second of talking to this guy? So, sounds easy again, but then I'm going to teach you how to deal in different kind of situation. For example, when do you say when you apologize to someone? Again, my apologies, I'm so sorry, or I didn't mean that, I meant completely different thing. For example, somebody misunderstood you, right? And you apologize to him. So there are so many things you want to ask. There are so many things you want to say. And again, for example, simple question. When do you say this? Nice to meet you. Again, when you first meet the person, right? Not the next day when you already met him, right? When do you say it's up to you? You say it's up to you when the decision comes from him. For example, you tell him, do you want to join us to the club, right? Do you want to join us tomorrow? We're going to the trip. And the person can tell you, it's up to you. I mean, if you want me, if you want to take me, I'll definitely go. So, for example, your wife, you walk with your wife, you're walking with your wife, and you wants to buy a car, for example, and you tell her, you know what, baby, I just like this car, and I wish I could have it. Maybe we can buy it. And she tells you, it's up to you, baby. If we have enough money, let's just do it. Let's buy it. Now, when you say watch out, simple phrase. But when do they say this phrase? When there is some danger. For example, it's a slippery floor, or there is a traffic jam, or there is a car accident in front of you, right? And people tell you, watch out, and you're on your phone, you're talking with someone, you're not paying attention. That's when people tell you, watch out. So it means be careful. Okay, and there are so many other different phrases that I want to teach you guys. So, welcome to my lessons. And again, my topics are very simple, and they're very easy to use. But not many teachers use those phrases. I mean, again, I'm not teaching you any books language. This is language from the streets. This is language that American people use, and I used to use it. Okay, so guys, welcome to my class, and have a nice day, and I'm here for you. Welcome. Bye-bye.